are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
They just go with the flow. It's the Herschy and Keegs show.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
And here we are,
ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night. It is 9 o'clock.
Sorry.
That was our producer, Tony Walker, at work.
Sorry.
Welcome to the Herschy and the Keegs show. It's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. We're happy to see you. As you might be able to tell, it's just the Herschy tonight. We're in a little bit of a predicament. For the past 2 days, we have not been able to track down the Keegs. Tony's been texting him. I've been calling him. Went to his house. We do not know where he is. So Tony and I decided to go forward with the show. We're going to try to figure out. We're going to talk it out. Maybe some of his friends or family members will call in. But it has been a little bit of a bizarre 2 days. We are going to miss the Keegs. We're hoping that he's okay. But, this is a show that we decided to keep going every week if we possibly can. So we're here to bring you joy and laughter. Again, it'll just be me and Tony Walker tonight. And, we appreciate you being here. Make sure you share it. Mikey always says, smash it. Post it on your Facebook pages, your Twitter pages, anything at all. And, we appreciate it. And we're going to just get through this show the best that we possibly can, because that's what we have to do, Tony. We have to figure it out.
The show must go on.
The show must go on, and we're gonna do the best we can. We've never done this before.
The last time I saw Mike was Saturday night, and Bosie was here. So you never know.
He was at. Oh, so you're saying it was something Bosie related?
Yeah, like he's in the back of Bosie's van, and like.
Yeah, I don't know. We spoke over the weekend. He texted me on Friday about something. We had a couple of ideas for stuff for the show tonight, and then it's not like him, but we have to go forward. I mean, this is a show people.
You're a true professional.
People expect to see us. People expect to hear us. And
what people are that?
There's some people, there's definitely some loyalists that are out there, and they'll definitely miss Mikey tonight. But hopefully we can track him down somehow. Maybe we can figure something out. Reach out to some of his friends or family members. Come up with some ideas. Maybe reach out to John Walsh. Is that his name? The guy who
that finds the
lost children.
America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted. So maybe we can do that.
Maybe he's with Artie Lang on a bender or something.
I don't. Bender? You know what? I just don't have any idea where he is whatsoever. But like I said, we're gonna go for.
What? What's going on? You guys started already?
Oh, there he is.
Dude, what the fuck, man? What? Why? You're all wet and you have a headband on in water. Where the fuck have you been? We've been calling you like crazy.
I told you I was doing the New York City Marathon this week.
Mike.
Yeah.
The fucking marathon was Sunday. That's 72 hours ago.
I go at my own pace. What do you think? I'm one of these fucking Kenyans that fucking finishes a thing in one day? You think I'm high altitude training, drinking goat piss? I'm an American man.
You just finished.
I just
You just
I came
finished.
right here from
No, you look. You're saturated. You have the headband on. You have.
I've been running for 48 hours.
So you finished the marathon and just came straight
right
here.
here. That's
wow.
I have a responsibility.
Wow.
How
okay.
How many pizza places did you hit while you were running?
All
You
of
did
them?
it.
Oh,
You
all
did
right,
it.
that's good.
Well,
All of
we're
them.
happy to see you. Give me my fucking water bottle back, you prick.
All right,
That's
that
good.
marathon is something else.
Yeah, man.
Man.
We're happy to see
I
you.
highly recommend if anybody wants to do the marathon.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
just a slow walk.
Slow.
I
Very,
slow walked
very
it.
slow. I mean, were you on your knees with your ankles tied behind your back?
I didn't leave Long Island. I didn't leave my block. I've been walking around my block for a couple
Just
days. That
on
was
your
my-
block.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's
But I
happening.
followed it on my phone.
You tracked it.
Yeah.
You tracked it. Okay. We were nervous. We care a lot about you, me more than Tony.
No, thank you guys. But
yeah.
no, I told you where I was gonna be. So
we're happy to see you. We're back.
it's Tuesday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, cue the music. Let's start the show.
Get this thing going again.
All right.
It's a big day. Obviously, Mike has made it through the marathon. He's here. But
I've been training all week.
No, you look great.
Week and a
Other
half.
than the perspiration and the stank,
Yeah.
you're doing fine. You got the headband. You came ready for this bit. You had my water bottle, your headband. You were all propped out. You're ready to go.
I lost a T-shirt. I had to cut this off a T-shirt today.
Yeah. So So Mike texted me over the weekend, and he's like, what do you think of this idea? Is it hacky? Is it funny? And I'm like, well, it's hacky and it's funny, and we're gonna do it. So I'm like, so after he said it, I'm like, well, we'll use a water bottle, and I'm like, bring one of your headbands. He's like, well, I don't have any headbands.
You think I'm training in the off season?
I'm like, don't you have it? I think you had some Hulkster headbands or something, or an old ripped one like from Ultimate Warrior, like a tie-dyed.
Yeah, let me go right through my athletic closet and find my headbands.
So then my response was, well, just take an old white T-shirt and rip it. And you were like, you didn't seem receptive to that. You were like, all right, I'll see what I got.
See what
I'm
I
like,
got.
you must have an old fucking T-shirt somewhere.
It's not old. It's probably kind of a new T-shirt.
Oh man,
My
that
mom's gonna be
sucks.
pissed.
Damn it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, buddy. Well,
It's all
it
right.
worked. You don't have to wear it for the whole time if you don't want to.
No, I think I like it now. I think
Yeah?
this might be my
It's a
new
pretty
look.
cool look,
It is
man.
a cool look, right?
You look
this
like-
is my Gino Bisconti. I
Yeah,
think.
it's kind of cool, actually.
I was thinking Richard Simmons.
Although the Hanes tag on the back of your head is bizarro. It's embarrassing.
No, I kind of like this. I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you look good,
I
man.
think I'm going to
You
do
look
this.
really
This is
well.
my new look.
You look good, and
you very
I'm happy
much.
to have you here. I know, when all kidding aside, it's a big day. It's election day. And
Election day.
Well, we tend not to dive into politics, and we're not going to.
No.
But I know this is a
Ride
big
that
day.
fucking red wave, baby.
I know. You look like a red wave when you walked in here. But I will tell you that I know this is a big day. You've been talking about it, so I'll give you a minute just to. I have a question though.
Yes.
When you walked into the polling booth today, did you bring your Confederate flag with you, or did you leave it? Did you park it outside, or they let you bring it in?
They don't let you bring it in. It has to be 200 feet away from the polling place. I had to cover up my swastika.
Yes.
It was a whole thing.
Right.
I went in and nobody could tell who I was voting for, but
Right.
I see the people in the polling place with the mask. I know who you fucking people are voting for. Right? Like, why even give them a ballot? Just be like, all right, Hochul, okay.
Oh, hold on a second. But what about? So you said you saw the people with the masks. So you're assuming that they're voting for Hochul. What about if there were people with masks with long noses that were coming out of them?
Yeah, we do. Our Republican candidate is a Jew.
I mean, that's really like you don't see that happen very often.
That is.
I mean, I can't remember it ever happening where Republicans, because we know New York State is a Democratic state most of the time, but Long Island, especially where I live in Levittown, is like 99.9 Republican. So to drive around my neighborhood and see a sign of a name of a Jew on the lawn
with all these Jewish names in Levittown, yeah.
For the first time in 20 years living there, people are actually waving at me. They're beeping. I'm like, what's this all about?
You walk by the. Was that Zeldin?
I'm like, I'm like, I'm not Lee Zeldin, okay? I'm not Lee Zeldin.
Welcome to Zeldin and the Keegs show.
I mean, it's remarkable.
I know. We finally get a Jewish Republican, and he lives in Shirley.
I don't understand that. I mean, even if it's the nicest part of Shirley, I mean, I know he's an East Meadow guy originally, but how Shirley, I don't understand.
I don't get where that comes from. That's
a little odd, but
that's East Wyandanch.
I've been thinking about it. I wonder if all of this pro Zeldin stuff that's been going on throughout our state is just because people hate Hochul so much, or they really love Zeldin. I think it's probably a combination of both, is my guess.
It's probably a combination of both. I think it's more that people don't like Kathy Hochul. She never ran. You know, she was just, the guy that killed everyone's grandparents.
Right.
Filled in for him after he was touching all the titties.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
his own, too, with the nipple
she never
rings.
ran for anything. She's not a very likable person.
No.
And the only thing they're running on is just, Zeldin supported Trump. He's an extremist. And, I was pulling up to where I vote today, and right outside they have... Team Zeldin is too extreme, and they have a picture of that Buffalo guy that yelled freedom to out at the Capitol.
Yeah.
That was literally a poster that they had outside of the polling
But Zeldin
place.
really hasn't really spoken about that. Like, it's not like he's not an insurgent. He's not speaking about that.
The only thing is that he has supported some of Trump's policies.
Well, that's listen,
they're
that's
gonna
okay.
Ride that like they rode COVID into the fucking
Well,
White
listen,
House.
it's going to be over in an hour, so they're not riding shit.
It's already over. It's Hochul. It's unfortunate.
Oh, really? They're saying
I think from what it looks like, it's.
I didn't know that. Really?
I thought he was going to kill her.
I thought he was going to kill her. It's super close, but it looks like it's kind of...
I had no idea about that. I had no idea about that. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea about that. Wow.
We tried. We tried, America.
We're delving deep into politics more than
Not that I like to let anybody know what side I'm on.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah. You know what? The truth is, I don't want to limit you, but I have, as far as the politics stuff. Every single day for the past 7 months, I've asked you to stop talking about it on the air. But today's election day. Today's election day, and you can feel the way you want to feel.
Let me wave my freak flag. And
I do want to switch for a second to something that I was just going to bring it up to you before the show started, and then I'm like, I remember what the great Jackie Martling had said. You remember his visit here was so good, and it went perfectly.
Remember all the stories you and I told?
You remember how free flowing we were on that show. You literally could have stayed off the show as well as I could have, and it would have been fine that day.
Yeah, exactly.
But thinking back to that, I was thinking about it, and I sent you a message earlier in the day, and we'll get to that lack of response on the message. But my message to you was, and I don't know what made me think about this, but I thought that maybe at some point, especially on days when we're not interviewing a guest, that you and I could be sitting across from each other.
I completely forgot to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I know.
I do like that.
I know.
Like kind of the old Mike and the Mad Dog.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Robin and Howard, now, I don't know if you remember, and Tony, you might, I don't know if you do, but the old Governor's radio studio, when they first built it, was set up where it was a table like this, and then there would be two.
Top,
but there would be two people over there, two people over here, and it would have been given us an opportunity to talk like this. Mm-hmm. Tony, as the producer, is that even feasible? It really probably is not the way this setup is. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, that was still the setup when Sally and I took over.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how we would do that now unless somebody just sits on the sits on that side. I mean, we can make that work.
So we'd be right across this little desk from each other,
like you're
like play footsie with each other.
Yeah, or you're gonna have an arm wrestle or something. But,
okay, all right.
Because I think there was some distance between Mike and the Mad Dog.
No, there was
nose to nose, right?
Yeah, so that's okay.
I mean, you're asking to get the old table back? Is that what you're asking?
Nick, can we remodel the studio again?
I happen to like the studio like that personally. I did like the studio like that.
We did it like this for a comedian, and look where that got us. So,
but it was also done, I'm assuming, it was done for the purposes of more cameras and stuff like that.
That's the truth. Yeah, to fit more cameras and make it more spacious, because this table made it hard for this table. Made it hard.
Remember the table was like 4 inches from the wall. And
right, it's hard to get in.
I used to have to crawl under the table because I couldn't make it by.
All right, so we'll leave it like this. That's just a thought. It's just a thought, but
you sitting there, maybe Mike sitting like on the end or something.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know.
We can look at each other. So
maybe we should just turn it a little bit.
Can that be right? It says she's winning 74% and he's got 25. Can that be right?
It says too early to call.
Yeah, it does say too early to call, but that's a huge margin.
That's huge.
That's a huge margin.
Not good.
But you know what?
I'm shocked.
At like 2 a.m., we'll put in all our secret ballots, like the Democrats did in 2 years ago.
That's exactly it. But it did lead me to think that, and this is, again, we've had this conversation somewhat, and again, the way I am in life, you know that I am certainly on, when it comes to the side of me texting someone and them not getting back, or them not getting back to me, it's always that I'm the one who's texting and people don't get back to me just because I'm more of the annoying type, I guess.
No.
But the one thing I wanted to make sure that you realize, when you don't respond to me on Facebook Messenger, I see that you're reading it because it says that you've read it.
He has a tone. You have a tone right
now.
No,
what I'm saying is I just want to make sure that you realize that when I see that.
Now I do.
No, like if I text you and you don't respond, you can be like, "Oh, I didn't get it, or I didn't see it." But I see you looking at it. It says Mike just read this. Basically,
you wrote that to me in Messenger, right?
Yeah.
You know what it was? I believe it was when I was at Juliana's voice lesson. She had singing lessons today.
All right,
I was talking
to
her teacher because Juliana had to cancel last week because she had pink eye. So I was talking to her teacher about making up a lesson, and then I forgot to get back to you. But that was completely my fault.
You will just bullshit anything.
No. Okay. You know, I always like to get back to you.
Not really. But, okay, so that's good.
But I would like if we did that. I would like if we faced each other, yes.
Yeah, but it's just something to talk about. I don't want you moving right now. I'm just saying. But you being right across here would be a little uncomfortable.
Sitting on the couch, maybe?
No, you cannot do that. The couch is a no.
Why?
Jackie had... put an end to that. Jackie.
What did he do to the couch?
The way it was that day was Sally had set Peter and Jackie up on the couch and me and Mikey here because she didn't want one of them sitting there and the other one sitting over there. So they were sitting next to each other, and Jackie came in at 8:59 and he went Harry Carey. He's like, "This is ridiculous. You can't have a show like this."
He rearranged everything.
He took 2 chairs, put them next to each other, took the headsets, and so that was over with. So we will never do the couches again. And you know what? The truth is, now that I understand the dynamics of the studio and why it was done, we'll be fine. The truth is, I can turn my neck a little bit more than I do. Maybe I should turn my head a little bit more. I could do that.
I guess so. But you know, like you said, it does give a nice visual of how Mike and Chris used to have it.
Well, we'll for now we're gonna work through this as a team, like we do everything.
Like when you texted me earlier, did you mean that we were going to try to do that today?
No.
Then I really fucked up.
No. It was just something that I was thinking about. You know, I think about this show constantly, as you guys both know, trying to make it better. I wonder what would have happened, by the way. What do you think would have happened to this show in general if one of us had gotten word today that we had won the Powerball? What do you think? We would
have been here. We would have been here.
Been here?
Yep, we would have been here. I don't think we would have mentioned it on the air.
No.
But, that would just give us more, we'd be able to do more with the show. Like, I would never stop doing the show.
Never stop doing the show.
No.
Never.
I don't care if I had $10 billion. Like, the show is the most important thing.
I don't know for people who don't know this, the pot was over $2 million. One person in California won it. Their cash payout is going to be $997 million. The winner was a Polish fellow, and he's chosen to take $1 million payments for the next 997 years. I'm thinking about that joke all day long. That was good. All day.
That is great.
Thank you.
Save that for
much.
November 18th.
Whoa, baby, that's like next Friday.
Yeah, right. You guys, can you believe next Friday is our first live show here?
Dude,
I
we
hope
gotta
you guys
talk.
have your tickets. I think we're almost sold. We're almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
out.
I'm gonna check. I've been checking like once a week with Andrea, who is the club manager, and last week it was down to I think like 14 tickets, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll check with her tomorrow.
There's
and we'll
only
see.
a few left, so snatch
then
them up. Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, we know it's gonna sell out, and it might have already sold out. My friend from childhood, my friend Franny Capolino, whose birthday I think was yesterday. Actually, happy birthday, Franny!
Franny.
She had she's the girl who bought us. She's your friend.
She bought a shirt.
She's your friend, yeah. She had said that she went on to buy a ticket the other night and it was sold out. But I don't think it's true. Yeah. I mean, not that she was lying, but I don't know if she got it right. But she might have. I don't know. Yeah. Anything's possible. Anything's possible with the Herschy and Keegs show. Yeah. We are taking the country by storm. Yeah.
We're selling out giggle rooms all over the place.
We're sending giggle rooms and hoodies. I did get a funny text today from Megan's dad, Steve. You know, Megan, our singer. So he had texted me, and he's like, "Dude, do me a favor." And mind you, Steve's a good guy, but I think he's like us. Maybe had a couple of puffs in his day, and he texted me. He's like, "Dude, I didn't get a chance to watch a show last night. Just send me the link, would you?" And I'm like, "I will definitely send you the link as soon as I have the link and the show is taped, which will be tonight.
We're recording it in 6 hours.
I will definitely." He's like, "Oh shit."
Well, you know what it is. Yeah. Daylight savings got him.
Daylight savings. That's right.
Daylight savings got him.
Yeah. Which I had touched.
Look, the flyer's right up there.
Well, that's because Tony did that. Yeah, that's our flyer.
You're not just sitting here eating chips,
yeah,
pal. I'm working hard.
Yeah.
Tony's pounding away at the Pringles over there. I love that.
Hey, what if I could move that? You know what? Let me show the.
I can have to do it right now.
Well, no, I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah.
But what if we move that white table? Mm-hmm. Move it sideways and then put stools on each side.
Hey. Whoa, baby! Now we're talking.
Now we're cooking with oil.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We can make this happen. We can make it happen. I'm here for you.
We're gonna do it.
I like the idea of that, but again, we're gonna definitely feel this out and figure out what we're gonna do. So the Powerball, one person, $997 million.
What would you do?
You know what? So that's an interesting thing. Like, I was thinking about this today. You wake up and you see you have that kind of money. Immediately, how does it affect, like, other than being in total shock and probably going into severe palpitations, and then you have some happiness, do you automatically think that it's literally going to almost force you to change your life? Like, can I no longer live in my 5-bedroom house in Levittown? Do I have to move out of Levittown? Do I have to change my friends? Do I have to relocate to somewhere that it would be equated to that type of lifestyle?
I wouldn't leave Long Island. I might leave where I am and live a little bit closer to the water like I've always wanted to. But I would always stay here on Long Island, but I would have other properties. I would have something maybe in Italy I would buy. Yeah,
I mean, it's just like... it's just a crazy concept to me. Is what would it do? Because the truth is, like, for me, I'm a stay-at-home guy in the sense that I like being where I'm at. I like the friends that I have. I like having my mom around the corner from me. I don't want to be a jet setter per se, money or not. I mean, again, there would be things that I'd like to do. Obviously, maybe change the table in the studio so I can sit differently.
You can buy the studio.
Buy the studio.
I'd have to, whatever I do, I'd have to do it quick because I'll be dead in 3 months if I win fucking $9
I hope that's not true.
I absolutely would.
No, maybe we change. I'd buy the clubs and we'd call it Herschynor's Comedy Club. I don't know. I just was thinking about it. I'm like, how do you wrap your brain? It's one thing you win 30,000, 40,000, even 500,000, but
this isn't just life-changing money. I mean, you're changing the life for 10 generations behind you.
It's just fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
It's totally outrageous. And it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, the truth is, the person's cashing out with $1 billion essentially. Like, what can they possibly what could you do? What do you do? I mean, again, I would like to be able to donate money so I can tangibly see people's life being changed. Like, I'd love to walk around a city and hand cash to homeless people who I know are not going to use it for drugs and alcohol or whatever.
You're going to find that one homeless person that's not going to.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, or like if there are people who are sick who just need money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That I want to not just like
but I don't do a lot of bad. Like, I'd have my own fucking
you would go through
little St. Vincent Island.
You'd go through the total debauchery. I mean, you'd have basements filled with couches and pads in between them with your friends. Just one humongous basement with all of your friends laying next to each other.
People would look at what I did and be like, "Oh, Jeff Epstein, that saint."
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, of course, you want to do things fun and whatnot, but I don't know. The concept of it is just totally mind-blowing.
That much money is just I don't know.
Yeah, it's just outrageous, but
good for that fucking hedge fund manager that probably won it out in California.
Yes, have they announced who that was, or we haven't even gotten that far yet?
They've announced who it was.
All right, well, let's do a little research on that. What did I miss anything from this weekend, by the way? Because I don't want to bypass comedy.
It was a fun weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
What did we do? Saturday we were here. Saturday I was here in the Giggle Room doing Jeff Bosey and Rich Rader's show. Mm-hmm. What a great show.
Was it really?
It really was. It was so much
packed
fun.
House, mediocre.
Packed house,
yeah.
It was pretty much packed. They had about 68 people.
Okay, so it's short about 30 people
it's
for a full house.
It's a little bit short, but you know what? It's not crammed in there when you have it.
Right, I was going to say it didn't look.
Yeah, we're not opting for that. We want to be crammed.
No, I mean we're greedy and we want money.
Yes, exactly.
But, We'll oversell the room.
Yeah.
But it was nice. Our buddy Hugh Murray was right. He was hosting in the main room.
How's
here.
Hugh? How is
doing
Hugh,
great.
my boy?
He's doing great. I love that guy.
He is just a good person, and we worry about him. We care about him, and
he's in a good place right now.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I like Hugh Murray very much.
We should get him in here, though, because he has a great story of how he got clean and sober.
Yeah, so we'll just bring him in for that story and then let him go.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. 10 minutes to bring him in.
I would have Hugh in here. Yeah, definitely. I would, because the truth is Hugh has, I mean, many stories. I remember the taser arrest story from years ago, and
he was coming to meet me at a bar that night.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting pulled over and arrested.
And he was in a bad way. And then, his picture was all over the news. And
it was on page 6, yeah.
Yeah, page 6. And then he wasn't looking at his best. So the comments about just people ripping him to shreds about it was like kind of funny and sad. But the truth is, it was more sad than anything because a lot of us care about that guy. And he's a good person.
Great guy.
Yeah. And, so, all right, we'll line that up.
Good to see that he's in a good place now.
Yeah.
And,
that's
he was
awesome.
hosting the main room this weekend for Nick Mullen.
Okay. Oh, I like Nick Mullen.
Yeah.
Good.
Nick Mullen fucking filled that room 2 nights
Killed.
Phenomenal. But, how about yourself? Anything this weekend?
Just daylight savings time, which I had written about on Facebook, and I'm curious what you feel about it, but most people seem to feel like daylight savings time is a negative, that they lament the loss of the extra hour. For me, and I know, listen, we joke on the show, but ultimately, when I leave here, I go full-blown depression most of the time. There's part of me that enjoys the extra hour of darkness. I know that's
the most morbid thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And again, it just goes along with, I don't know, I guess in my mind, I feel like, that means the day is shorter. It's one less hour for me to worry about where my kids are at, and it's a really crazy mindset.
A little shorter breath, one day closer to death. It's
a totally fucking nutty outlook about it, but like one of my favorite parts of the day is when it's time for things to get quiet and time to watch a ball game, and but if it's like 7:15 on a summer night and it's 85 degrees out, you take me to the batting cage, let's go have a catch, which I like doing also, but I do like the quietness of things settling down and kids shutting themselves in their rooms and not speaking to me and just playing their video games and shit like that.
This explains
but
a lot.
I don't think many people agree with me on that.
I don't mind it. I like it now. It's not that I love it, but I don't mind it. I loved the daylight savings time when I was, back in college and in my 20s and partying, and I'd be at the bar and it would be 4 o'clock in the morning, but all of a sudden, it's only 3 o'clock in the morning now. We got an extra hour of doing blow and drinking.
Go hey-o. Yeah. Okay.
But they used to be my favorite night to be out at bars was daylight savings time.
Wow.
You just get that extra hour of being a douchebag.
So I'll tell you a horrific daylight savings story. This had to be about maybe 25 years ago. It was before me and Stacy had kids, and we went out on one of those gambling boat trips
at a Freeport.
I
love those. Those were the best.
So we went out of one of those gambling boat trips, and it was me, Stacy, and like a shitload of our friends, and everyone's drinking and smoking, having a great time, and it couldn't have been like 3 or 4 miles into the trip that I started to get like I'm gonna, not to the point where I was actually physically ill, but if I moved my head at all, I was going to get. So they said, okay, anyone who's not feeling well, go on this particular floor, second or third floor, and it was just people and trash cans, and I later called it the Vominade deck, was what I was calling it, because, and can I tell you that it was so fucking horrific. And then we hit a certain time of night, and I'm like, oh my god, we're almost gonna be home back. And then the clock changed. Oh gee, it was daylight savings, and when they gave us an extra hour on the fucking boat,
you have an extra hour of,
and it was like it was hell. Like it was just living fucking hell, so bad. And that was my worst and daylight savings experience, but ever since then it's been a lot better.
Yeah, if you're doing something that's absolutely miserable and then you get an extra hour of that, it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
I remember I went on one of those one year, and my aunt was one of those people that got sick. And the only reason I knew that Vominade deck existed was I went to check on my aunt.
Did they call it that back
then?
They didn't.
No.
Oh, because I'm saying, I wonder if it stuck. I'm like, holy shit! I was famous before I even knew it.
Vominade deck.
I was famous before I even knew it. Fucking amazing.
Most of them were black.
People?
Yeah.
Black?
No, they were real
what is black?
They were like black.
Very black? You can just say black.
I was just
black
African.
Are you so uncomfortable with this?
Vote Republican, ladies and gents. What I'm trying to say.
Right. Can't even call them the right name. How do you say a black?
It's like the Fonz. Remember the Fonz couldn't say no. He was wrong.
Sorry. I was wrong. No, he couldn't say sorry. Right.
No, I was
Okay.
I couldn't think of the right thing to call them, so I called them black.
Yeah. Okay, so it's your aunt and a bunch of blacks.
A bunch of blacks.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
But for some reason, they're not seaworthy. I don't know, like, I just...
Listen, blacks are well known not to be seaworthy.
That is true.
Yeah, okay.
But I just thought it was odd that it was just them and my aunt. But But my thing was, so we went out, and after about an hour, I was just playing poker. I was playing Texas Hold'em.
Yep.
I'm up like $600.
You're up.
And now I'm like, should I cash out? Because I'm up, and I know I'm going to lose it. But now there's still 3 hours left in the trip, so I'm like, what am I going to do? Cash out and fucking
what am I going to do?
Walk around and hang out with my aunt and the blacks on the Vominade deck?
Just me and my aunt and the blacks on the Vominade deck.
I'm sorry for anyone I might have offended. I meant African blacks.
Yes.
It's like a bad 80s sitcom. My aunt and the black.
African Americans or black. That's it.
Grace the blacks.
Christ almighty.
So, of course, I kept playing, and by the end of the trip, I'm down like $400.
Good, you fucking deserve it.
I deserve it.
Goddamn fucking
I deserve right now to be down with the way that I don't know how to...
You ran a marathon. You came in here out of sorts.
I'm out of sorts because I've been running a marathon for 48 hours.
Okay, so what happened? So that you lost the 400.
I lost the 400, and now I could have been up $600, and at that time I was probably only like 23 years old. So $600 would have been a lot of money for me.
Right. Right.
But now I ended up losing money on the trip because that's the only thing I didn't like about the trip. Like if I'm at a casino, I can cash out, go back to my hotel room and drink.
Right.
But now I'm just stuck out in the middle of the ocean. And what am I going to do? Jerk off for fucking 3 hours?
Right.
No,
and, especially in front of people.
So you end up playing and losing money.
Yeah,
but I did love those boats. Those were fun boats.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I didn't have much of a history of being seasick. Mm-hmm. Then again, I didn't have much of a history on boats. But those boats were actually, and Stacy's twin brother was actually a captain of those boats later on, and he said that the boats, I don't know, is it the chalice? Something about the balance underneath? Some of those boats were not well structured,
really?
So that's why people would go out and get sick. There's a terminology that's about the balance of a boat, and some of those boats were just not well made for that. Apparently,
was it seaworthy?
I don't know, whatever it was. He said that a lot they commonly were filled with sick people. Huh. So and notice how there's no more Freeport gambling boats.
I know, exactly. That must have something to do with it.
Must have something to do with it. Yeah. So daylight savings time's here, and I'm fine with it. Like I said, I got out of work today. I do have a day job, people. I know that's surprising with the success and grandiose, wild success that we've had here. But and it was like 4:55, 5 o'clock, and I must have like yelped something like, "Oh my God, it's dark out!" And someone's like, "What? Like who says that? Like what kind of fucking moron says that?"
It's blackout.
Yeah, I didn't say that. No,
I have like a complex about disappointing people.
Mm-hmm.
That like I bought my Powerball ticket, and I have a day job also. Mm-hmm. And I the whole night I was like worried that I'm like, what if I win? I don't want to disappoint my boss and leave. But like I can't stay there if I have $900 million. But I like my job. I really like my boss. He's a good guy.
Yep.
And like I can't enjoy winning $900 million. Like that's how fucked up I am.
Wow.
I can't enjoy this because I'm like, well, I got to give him $10 million so that he can sell the company and then he'll be okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he doesn't give a fuck if I'm there or not.
He does
gonna
not
hire some other douchebag who doesn't know how to.
He doesn't
how to reference
care.
black people.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Is that something that's gone through your mind? So you have a little bit of a, I didn't realize that.
I don't want to win now because I got to leave my job and I'm going to disappoint this guy.
Well, ultimately that did not come to fruition, so you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
And speaking of day job, I certainly won't mention where I work because we don't want to do that. This is a different life.
No, you know how many people are going to be showing up there? And
right, I don't need to be, when I get outside in the dark.
Leave the Ed Sullivan
but
Theater.
Talk about, I don't know if this would be considered a Freudian slip or what it was, but this is something that happened the other day, and it left me mortified, absolutely mortified. I was walking a potential student, and his mom around the building,
Mm-hmm.
And I do that. I'll give a little tour or whatever and tell them, this is what happens in this classroom. This is what happens here or whatever. And
I never got that tour with my mom. I think you gave me the tour, but I didn't get to bring my mom.
Dude, you're lucky. I just whatever. But so the woman was, probably my age, attractive middle-aged woman. And I'm talking to the guy and I'm like, yeah, you get lunch breaks and every 10 minutes you get a chance to go ahead and spread your legs. I said so, and I meant to say stretch your legs, and I said spread your legs, and I was like, all of a sudden I'm just soaked in sweat immediately. I'm just drenched. Totally drenched in sweat instantly because you can't you can't put that back in the box.
You can't put it back. It's out of the box. Now, did you? Able to control your?
No. I was like, there, look and say hello to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like I did a total changeover. But once that's out,
nobody did she giggle?
Nobody. I steamrolled through it.
Wow,
you're a
better man than I am.
But man, it was out there.
Yeah,
it was out there, and it was fucking scary. It was totally scary. I'm like, what happened there?
You could either do that where you're just like, hey, you just change the subject right away, or you could just own it and be like, hey, you too, mom, anytime, babe.
Right.
Fucking
no. We do calisthenics and
you two over there, tits, legs, and ass.
We do calisthenics, is what I meant to say, and gymnastics. The gymnastics place next door. We do that over there. Yeah, so that was mortifying.
Oh my God, I could
total
imagine.
Mortifying. I went back to my office. I had to I was just soaked.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly your body can take over.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my body just took over, and I was like just drenched.
It's like when your body goes into shock after an injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Same type of thing. So that happened the other day at work. I was in East Meadow. This was not.
Oh, right over. That's my stomping grounds.
Your neck of the woods, and
You stop to say hello.
Really.
I stopped. So the Chinese food place that we loved for years, called Yunnan Dynasty.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, well,
I've been going there when they used to be in Levittown, all the way down Hempstead Turnpike.
right. Well, it's right here. It's right behind us in the shopping center.
Is that
Yeah,
where it
it's
was?
not
It
down
was
the-
so much further away when I was a
No.
little kid.
No, you're down the turnpike right now, Mike. You're down the turnpike from.
No,
your,
wasn't it like further down and then it moved here and then East Meadow?
Well, when I moved here in 2002, it was in the shopping center right over here next to Staples.
Before that, it used to be all the way down by where Pergament used to be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And this
that
is
I
in
don't know.
the late 80s or
Oh no,
90s.
I moved in here 2002. So we went there for years, and Stacy and I don't even think the kids were ever old enough to eat there, so they must have left in the early 2000s. But we would go and eat dinner there, and then they closed quite a while ago, and they reopened in a much smaller location next to Consumers Home
Kitchen
Goods
and,
in East Meadow.
Yeah.
And I prefer not to schlep over there, but Stacy appreciates that food more. And
They have the best rib, the best spare ribs there.
I mean, just in general, it's a fresher food. I agree. And what Stacy says goes, so I go over there.
Exactly.
So the other night, I order food, and I pull into the parking lot. And as I'm coming out after I order the food, there's a man, must be in his probably 60s or so, and he's coming in as I'm walking out. And it's one of those situations where someone's going to open the door for someone, but he took the initiative to open the door for me. So he does a little spin around. But I'm noticing that his neck is his head is stuck to the side of his. Like he's walking around like this.
He's got the old crook neck.
So I'm thinking either he slept under the air conditioner or he slept badly, or there's a thing that's actually called, I think it's called torticollis. You know what torticollis is?
No.
You know what torticollis is? When someone has some sort of listen, I don't know if this is exactly what it is, but I
Whatever
know
it is, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be convinced that I have it.
Torticollis is something to do with your neck, your head being stuck to your side of your neck, like this over here, okay? So anyway, I was like, oh, and I didn't say to him, it's so nice that you opened the door for me with your torticollis. But I thought it was cool that he went ahead and did that. So he opens the door, I go back to my car, and next now meanwhile, it's a Sunday night, the lot is totally fucking empty.
Yeah.
But next to my car is a car that it was almost like a gag. It was like one of my friends would pull up to my car and block my door so I couldn't get in. You ever do that to one of your friends?
Yeah.
So that was I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't even get in, you know? So I open the door and I'm struggling to get into my car. That's how close. And I look to see on the other side of the spot, and you could almost fit like a VW there. That's how big it is, you know?
It's like somebody's messing with you. Yeah.
So I'm starting to get a little pissed. Am I going to do a hock of phlegm on it? Am I going to key it? What am I going to do? Yeah. And the next thing you know, Torticollis next keeps on walking to my car. And he's like, oh, did I leave you enough room there? He says,
oh, man.
And I'm like, I think what had happened is that he was not able to judge.
He probably couldn't turn his
He
neck.
wasn't.
See,
So
now you're making me think twice, because like you mentioned before, whenever somebody does that to me, I always spit on their door handle.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, now I'm thinking in the past, the hundreds of times I did it, probably somebody with torticola.
Yeah. I don't
didn't know that they parked it that close to me.
Can you look up torticollis, Tony? Do you mind?
I will. I am happy to. Holchel's lead is coming down.
Dwindling.
And Zeldin is coming up.
All right.
And they have already declared Schumer has won.
Oh, Amy Schumer.
Amy
She won.
Schumer,
What?
congratulations,
Best female
Amy
comic who
Schumer.
has a baby? Is that what it says?
Torticollis. I don't know if I'm spelling it right.
I think he's running for senator of Wisconsin. Torticollis.
Oh, Torticollis.
Jeff Torticollis.
No, I think I had that.
I went to camp with a guy named Jeff Torticollis.
I think I had it over pasta recently. Torticollis.
Oh, delicious.
So
Torticollis Parmesan.
I will tell you that what I did was I actually let him get into his car first because I didn't see a real way of me getting into my car.
Yeah.
And my car was Stacy's car, which is a big Durango, so I would have to climb over the fucking...
Exactly. Now, when he said, like, hey, did I leave you enough room? Did you say, yeah, you're fine, buddy?
Yeah, because he had the torticollis, so I felt bad at that point, and I went from raging to, like, calming down a little bit when I saw that it was him. But I just... What I was thinking is, like, when he got out of his car, didn't he feel like it was a tight fit?
I know, exactly. He knew. I mean, he obviously brought it up, so he knew.
Yeah, I just don't think.
Unless it looks different from this angle.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't know.
A rare condition in which the neck muscles contract, causing the head to twist to one side. Torticollis can be inherited. That's weird. Inherited.
Really? Yeah.
And is seen soon after birth. This form may resolve without treatment.
Wow, that could have been it.
See, you could have just snapped his neck.
Maybe he inherited it. Hey, my uncle Jim died. He left me his torticollis. What? Not the Mercedes Benz? The fucking torticollis he left you?
My dad, I when I say that I'll spit on somebody's door, I get that from my dad.
Right.
My dad hates when people park too close to him.
Yeah.
My dad will park in a mile away from
Mile.
the place. So that nobody, my dad doesn't have a BMW or a Mercedes. He's got a Chevy Malibu.
Right.
But he'll park it a mile away so nobody parks next to him.
A mile away.
But if somebody parks next to him, especially too close, that's where I get. He'll spit on that door handle or something. I remember one time when I was younger, I was a kid, we were at Nathan's. And
in Oceanside or Levittown?
No, the one in the Levittown Nathan's,
which is Miller's Ale House now.
Is now Miller's Ale House, exactly.
Yeah. But you go back a long way in this town, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean,
unbelievable.
Levittown was like the first town that I really lived in before I moved to East Meadow.
Of course.
So we're at Nathan's. A larger gentleman parks a little too close to my dad's car, and when he opened his door, the wind took it a bit, and the door hit my dad's car.
Oh boy!
So now I'll never forget. This guy was super apologetic.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm so sorry. The wind took my car. The wind took my door. It hit your car. My dad, I'll never forget.
Just blew into my father's car. Fucking so windy out.
The wind took my door. I'm sorry that it hit the car. And I'll never forget. My dad goes, no, you know why it happened? Because you're fucking fat.
God.
Now, how is this guy going to go enjoy his Nathan's? He was on his way in. And you think this fucking poor guy wants to get a couple hot dogs? It's a Saturday afternoon. Oh, my God. And you're walking in there and some guy's with his like 8-year-old kid's like, no, you know what happened? Because you're fucking fat. Yeah.
I'll just have the 6 hot dogs today.
And I'll never forget that poor guy. Talking about
horrible.
Somebody's meal. The guy was probably looking forward to it all week.
Horrible.
Probably his cheat meal.
Oh my God, that's so fucking sad.
And he just couldn't wait to get in there and get those 2 Nathan's hot dogs with the fries and that little red fork.
He wanted to stick that red fork in, like, be so happy with things.
He's probably driving. He's probably coming from Suffolk County or something.
Yeah,
And he's driving. I'm going to Nathan's, and then somebody calls you fat on the way in there.
That's that nice. Well, I was thinking about, since you're bringing up parking and we were talking about this, I guess I'll talk about it. Barbie doll's been in the hospital for the past few days.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't talk. I'm weird with shit like that. Like I don't.
You should call me immediately and tell me.
Yeah, I didn't tell. Nobody really knows. She's been dealing. She had like a thing with her foot, and they did a surgical procedure. And anyway, so she's okay, but it's been a rough few days. And then yesterday was when they were going to do the surgical procedure during the daytime, like 11 o'clock. And, not like anybody enjoys being in hospitals. So I don't try to stay for an extended period of time because my anxiety starts to go a little wacky. But I also want to see her too. So yesterday I committed to going to the hospital, seeing her briefly, quickly, and then going to work. Like I like when she sees my face, and I like to see her just so she knows that I'm around and whatever. So I get to the hospital 9 o'clock, and that's when they start letting guests in at 9 o'clock at the hospital. And I didn't realize it, but that's when the hospital parking lot is packed to the gills. Like, it is ridiculous, okay? You have no idea how crazy it was. But I also know that I have to be at work, so I'm dealing with, going to see her, but can't find a spot. So I drive to the far length of the parking lot, still can't find a spot, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to park illegally. Like, I'm only going to be 5 minutes. Now I'm like 6 miles away at the end of the lot. It's still obviously packed to the gills. So I park illegally. I'm like, what's going to happen in 5 minutes, So I do a fast walk into the hospital, get my guest pass, go see her, and I was pretty happy. Like, she was in a good mood. She thought things were going to go well with the procedure, which they did. Nice. And as I'm walking through the lobby, I'm like, I'm going to stop for a corn muffin, because I always like... I don't know, it's a weird thing, but I always like the food in the little cafes and hospital like luncheonettes. Like, they're always like little greasy spoons, they're, you know what I mean? Like, they make good egg sandwiches and muffins, So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to get a buttered corn muffin toasted. There's no reason for me to do that at that point, by the way. Yeah. I could have just gotten in the fucking car and gone anywhere. There's a McDonald's over there. Yeah. Could have gone, whatever. So I'm sitting there and I'm on my phone reading sports and shit like that. And over again on the loudspeaker, you hear them talking about towing away a tan Ford Explorer, and I'm not even fucking listening to it. Like, I'm hearing it, but I'm not actually hearing it. And finally, I'm like, whoa, that's my license plate. So I break into a full wind sprint, running through the fucking parking lot in my work clothes.
An escape mental patient.
Oh my God in heaven! So you see, I get to the end of the freaking parking lot. I'm sweating. I got the corn muffin and a wrapper. I waited for that. Are you crazy? I waited for it, and I get there, and there's a tow truck already over there. It must be like a part of the hospital. I guess they have their own towing type of thing. I'm borderline ready to have to be hospitalized myself at this point. And luckily I got there. And I'm like, no, I'm here. And they were ready to...
And they didn't do the old, I got to take it still.
Well, no, because...
They got the contract. They called me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more so with like a cop and a ticket. I don't know, but so of
the
course...
tow guys do that too. Those guys are fucking scumbags.
So luckily I made it out. Yeah. I got to work, and as I told Stacy, I was just filled with nausea the rest of the day, just about the whole procedure, because nothing's ever easy.
Nothing
is ever easy. Yep. But I saw Barbie doll again today, and she's doing all right. They did a little procedure with the foot, and speaking
this
of which,
isn't from that fall that she had taken recently, is it?
No, the one where I tripped her.
Exactly.
No. This was nothing. No, it's just kind of like an older person thing that happens, and luckily, her aide, caught it, and hopefully it's going to be fine. But it's been a
speedy recovery, Barbie doll.
Yeah, Barbie doll. Yeah, exactly.
Let's give her a call.
We probably could. Actually, you know what? They turned the phones off.
Do they really?
You can't get incoming calls. Well, I'll tell you. Well, listen, I'm going full throttle. This has happened to my mother. I'd say over the years, if she went in for whatever ailments she had something a few years ago with her stomach. I don't remember what it was, but the first time I ever saw this, it scared the shit out of me, because I thought that she had some sort of a stroke, or God forbid. But it turns out that my mother, as some older people get when they're in the hospital, they get like a hospital delirium, where their mind plays tricks on them, and they think that they're in a different place. They think back to when they were at work 30 years ago.
Really?
Yes, it's very scary. And if you don't know what it is, and it's happening to one of your loved ones, like the first time they sent her for CAT scans and all these things, which was surprising, because you would think that the hospital would know that this happens.
Yeah, the first thing you think of, it's like some kind of early onset dementia.
And it's not at all. It's just that they're like, they can go to sleep, and they wake up, and all of a sudden it's nighttime in the hospital, and they're like, their mind just goes wacko on them. Yeah. So the other night at around 11 o'clock, my phone rings, and I had a suspicion that that's what it was. It was either that or, God forbid, something was going on with her. A
suspicion or a suspicion?
I had a suspicion. No, no suspicion.
All right, Ricky Ricardo.
I had a suspicion, Loki. I had a suspicion that Bobby. Yeah.
I have a suspicion. You have some explaining to do, Barbie doll.
I had a suspicion that the blacks were playing with Bobby. So my phone rings and she's like, Marky. And I'm like, what's up, Ma? She's like, there's an intruder in my apartment. And I'm like, how do you know? You're in the hospital. She's like, what are you talking about? And she's getting angry with me. And I'm like, Ma, you're in the hospital. You have an official issue with your foot. She's like, Mark, I'm at home, and there's a man in here, and he threw down pills, and he walked out of the room, and he's angry, and he's either going to hurt me or hurt somebody else. And I said, Mommy, there's no intruders there. I'm like, you have to stop. And again, I wasn't nervous because I knew what it was. Again, I had to really keep on reinforcing.
Thank God you knew what it was at that point.
I knew what it was. I knew what it was. But it's a little bit like, fuck. I gotta be awake and make sure I know how to talk to her. So she hangs up. 5 minutes later, she's like, Mark, you got to come here right now and get me out of this fucking place. I'm in the apartment. There's an intruder in here. And I'm like, Ma. And then I'm like, let me call the front, the desk of the wing that she's at to make sure that they know that I know what's going on, so they don't think that it's something else. And maybe there's a male nurse, something like that. So I called up, and sure enough, they said there was a shift change a couple hours ago. When she woke up, it was not the female nurse, it was the male nurse, and she keeps on thinking that he's an intruder. And then they put me on the phone with him. Nicest fucking guy in the world. He's like, thanks for calling. I didn't really know what was going on. But, I'll make sure that we're extra sensitive about things. And she calls me back, and then she doesn't realize, I don't know if she knows that I answer or not, because she's not talking to me. And apparently a female nurse came into the room, and all I hear my mother is saying, you don't be careful, he's going to rape you. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? Oh my God. And I'm like, shit, like now I'm going to almost have to go. Like at first it was like almost a little funny, She's like, yeah, you just better watch yourself, because if I was younger, he'd rape me, but he's going to rape you instead.
Oh my God.
And then she's like, Mark, I'm going to get out of this goddamn place right now. So she, this went on. She must have called me like 5 or 6 times until about 12:30 in the morning. And then I think the last call, I was like, Ma, I promise you, everything's fine. Please close your eyes. You're in the hospital for your foot. It's not an intruder. Nothing like that. Shit. I think what happened at that point was they stopped bringing the male nurse into her room. They switched nurses.
Yeah, this should like the second fucking time.
I'm thinking to give her something to like calm her down and get her to fall asleep or something.
Yeah, I mean maybe they did that, but I think at that point they needed to get the intruder rapist out of there. Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard of that. That's freaky.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It happened to my dad once years ago too. My dad was always funnier though, because he'd be like,
"Marky, this guy's gonna rape the shit out of me."
No,
I told him to stay.
No, my father would be like, "I'm gonna rape all these nurses," and I'm like, "Dad, are you having that thing again?" He's like, "No, I'm really gonna rape the nurses."
No, I'm completely lucid. I'm not
fine. You gotta see this bitch. She's black with big tits. Yeah. So, but the first time was my mother when it happened, and it was scary to all of us. So, God willing, you never experience it, because it's totally. Chances are your parents will experience it with you before you with them.
No, right? I'm in the hospital twice a year. So
Mike just stopped at Taco Bell so he had a heart attack. He got food, and now he's talking about it. So, but yeah, so we love you, Barbie doll. We know you're listening and watching, and so that's what's been happening. Almost 10 o'clock. What a fun hour! Holy shit, man!
Lots of laughs.
What a fun hour!
Like I said, I love having guests, and then people are fans have expressed it also.
Yeah,
and I love having guests, but we never laugh as much as we do when it's just us.
It's true,
and even somebody mentioned it on the page today. They were just like, I do appreciate it more. When
Steve, Steve does. I think people do.
Steve, who fucking thinks we recorded 2 days ago.
Steve appreciated it so much last night when he watched the show, and it was a blank studio, empty studio. Yeah, he loved it. So thank you, Steve. You know what?
You guys were great last night. That Anthony DiDomenico guy was hilarious.
That's right. I mean, I think that the beauty of this show is that we really try to, to do both. We want to, just have us talking and laughing, but we also want to have interesting guests like Jeffrey Gurian, which hopefully people enjoyed. And we'll just keep on keeping on, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We got, so what do you have coming up this weekend? And let's hit on next weekend, Mikey, before we leave.
This weekend's a pretty big one. Saturday would be at the Smithtown Performing Arts Center Saturday night, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Tickets are on sale. Just Google Smithtown Performing Arts Center. They might be selling it on the Governor's website also, because Governor's is booking that room.
Right.
So it's a Governor's production at Smithtown Performing Arts Center. It's going to be Carla is going to be hosting, my girlfriend. I'll be featuring, and headliner will be Mike Loftus from from Fox News. And
Mike's hilarious.
He's a hilarious guy. He was a writer.
He was here last Sunday. He was here. Yeah.
Oh, nice. He's a great guy.
He's great.
He's doing this like pilot of a sketch show that he's trying to sell to Fox News. So I've been doing the warm up for the audience.
He's so funny.
And he was a writer for Kevin James' show, Kevin Can Wait, and a new NASCAR show that 3 people watched.
Yep.
But it'll be a fun show. So Smithtown Performing Arts Center Saturday night if anybody's around.
That's awesome. So any of my friends who are in Suffolk County, Kings Park, Smithtown out there, absolutely. Go ahead and see Mikey out in Smithtown.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show.
But even more importantly, by this Friday, I want that Giggle Room for November 18th. I want it sold out, so get your damn tickets.
Get your damn tickets for the Giggle Room. We can't wait to see you guys. We're going to have we're going to talk about the structure and the setup of we're going to do a Q&A.
Yeah, it's going to be a stand-up show, but I think we're going to throw a few more things into it to make it interesting.
Okay, good. All right, Tony, you can cue the music, and we're going to go ahead and check out. And I don't really have anything coming up.
It's already playing there.
Oh, I can't hear anything. I don't know. I'm delirious.
You have Tortorella's disease.
Well, so thank you guys for
Tortorella's disease.
Thank you guys for listening, for watching. As we say every week, please share, please like, please, if you do get a kick out of the show and there's someone that you know that you think will enjoy it as much as you, please share it with them. That would be a great gift to us.
Yeah, we're nothing without you guys.
Yeah.
So,
we're nothing with you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. We could be a little bit more, though, if you shared the goddamn show.
We could be a little bit more than nothing.
Yeah, let us be more than nothing.
So, all right. Thanks guys. We love you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.